For this part of the series, going to start to look at railings and ramps and stairs. So there's a couple ways you can create your railings, place them on a stair ramp or sketch path. For this one, I'll just use one of the defaults, being the 900mm railing. You can sketch it, or you can actually pick the edges. So I just put it here and go OK. This will now place it. It's assigned to ground floor. That your slab is down -100, so you could do a base offset of 100 just to get it cleaning up. And then railings can be a little bit fiddly. You can start to flex some of these items here to get it to work a little bit better. It can be a case of sort of just tweaking a lot of these things as needed. There's a couple of handrails. When you hover over certain things, it may tell you what that's about. So that might be a lateral offset for the actual handrail. We don't have a handrail here. Probably don't really need it, but we could, add one in if we wanted to. Now this will go and grab a handrail type, so it could be pipe or wall mount. We'll just go, rectangular wall mount, and we'll just leave it on the default settings here. Again, this will show you what each item is when you hover over it, just to help guide you. It is pulling a profile, so this is just like a swept shape over a line, so it's 55 by 50 for the handrail, and then here we've got different types of transitions, so none, gooseneck, simple. So I'll just say we don't have any transitions here, but I like to keep everything simple. Then the materials, there's extension styles as well, so you can have it extend out at the end. Then you've got your links that you want to extend out, or if it's following a stair, you can do all this. So we'll come back and touch on this when we do the stair one. We can apply that. It's probably not going to show it up for that handrail at the moment. We can add identity data should we want to. The key things to look at here is the baluster placements and the rail. So we'll go to the rail first and edit that. Now at the moment we need to insert a rail. I want a rail at the bottom. So this new rail, I'll just leave it on default and go apply. That's now showing at the bottom. You could go and grab a pre-file that is in the project. So you can grab a square handrail or a circular handrail. I'll just grab the square one, for example, give it the middle, give it the offset. Pretty simple stuff like that. Go apply. I think by default it's already grabbed that one anyway. Now we have something at the bottom to fix this. I kind of want it cleaned up a little bit here at the bottom. And for these balusters, the baluster placements, we can tweak that as well. These are 20mm. I actually want everything to be 50mm, so I'm going to go down and choose 50mm if it's available there. So I'll get the flat 50mm, so some mild steel here. That's going to be it. And the distance at the moment is 275. You could make this really tight, so maybe you can make it 100, and just again go apply, and you can see how that flexes. That's kind of a nicer aesthetic for me. And maybe at the top here, maybe I don't want that top rail, so I could potentially remove that. So that's top rail. It's just going to see if that's going to give us anything. Not going to like us. Nope. Cancel out of that. I completely messed that one up. Let me go and do that again. We'll move that back to top rail and see if that cleans it up a little bit better. There we go. So what I want to do is I actually don't want that top rail. I want this to be like a series of fins. So we have other things down here, just the placements at the end here. You could tweak some of this as you need to, just to sort of tidy it up a little bit. Probably doesn't like it that much. The end rails here as well. Sorry, the start post. I want those all to be the the same, all just to be these blades. And yeah, I'll just leave that at the moment. Okay, that's sort of roughly right. And let's just see what else we've got. We can tweak here. So top offset, offset. And we want to justify it by the center. So that sort of evens it out a little bit. And you could just say that there is no endposts here. So that's kind of what I'm after. I'll need to go back and just see whether I can take out that baluster. So at the moment there is a baluster, and I can go none. Hopefully that will work. Nope. Alright, I'm just going to add that one. So yeah, at the moment I need to just rethink how to do all that. Probably hasn't been the best way to explain it. I'm just sort of starting this, straight away. But we do have some of the tools that we can get deeper into as needed. So we've got baluster square here, baluster per tread. Yeah. Okay, so that's just a rough preview of getting into some simple railings here, and we can start to see that inside of the model. And this is kind of what I'm after, roughly, these sort of basic fins, and I'll need to come back and get rid of that top baluster. It's definitely always a way to do all this sort of stuff. Just sort of doing this straight out of the box intuitively is never the best way to teach it, but yeah. The other thing you've got here, you've got other ones that are available. You've got a 900mm pipe, and you've got other ones like glass panels. Now, if you want to, do more advanced ones, you can actually go and do deeper dive tutorials. There's also a lot of sites online that do provide this already made up for you, so you don't have to go through the pain of intuitively trying to do this. But it's a nice and simple tool, when you need to get started, and then you can start to tweak things as needed. Okay, for the stair tool, I'm looking at developing like a little loft space and extending the garage. So things are always changing. Maybe this goes from being a single car space into a double car space. We have our floor finish here. We could edit some of that. I've allocated a space here for maybe where the stairs could go, and here we're just going to do some basic stairs out of the box. It will default to the assembled stair. We're going to use the private stair, and I want to draw this in the space, but I want to make sure that the location line is set to run right. The width, we'll just leave it as 1000, and at the moment it's going to the ceiling. I want this to go above the ceiling and finish at level 1. So all I need to do is just add those settings. At the moment it's 220 for the tread depth. It will automatically work out the rises for you, and we're just drawing from here to here. You can see here it's gone and created 15 rises to get to that point from ground floor to level 1. And we'll go OK, and let's see. We may need to make some adjustments here. We will come back to that in a sec. I just want to move this around a little bit because it's just embedded in the wall. I'll have the stringers and stuff showing in this design, and if I go to one of my section markers here, we can just cut through that stair and see what's being created. So go to view, and here's our set of stairs. By default it's added some railings. I could delete these off if I want to. I think I might do. I'll just leave it as a set of stairs, and you can see it's gone into the space, and this is going to be the new space. So this is my section, section 4 that I'm cutting through here, and just to simplify everything, I want that section 4 just to be cutting through the stairs for now. So we'll just do it like that. That's now picking up what we need. It looks like it's picking up this roof here, so it's just cutting through that roof a little bit. So I need to look at that junction a bit more carefully. What's awesome here is you can work this out in 3D before you get to site. On level 1 as well, I've just created a floor. It is cutting through the stairs here. You can see where that roof overhang, I probably need to move these stairs over a little bit. So I'll just do the boundary here, and I will grab that line, lock it, grab that line and lock it, and then just trim it up. The double line here just talks about which way the joist for this floor might be spanning. Again, I could just choose the span direction. Maybe I want them going this way. So I can go and select that one to be my span direction, which we can work out a bit later. I'll just go no for the moment for this. Now we have an opening for our stairs, but we've already identified that there's a few issues in here. The ceiling, I don't need a ceiling in the garage, and now we can already identify that there's some issues with that junction. I also don't want that railing. You can just bolt some handrails to the wall. And here we have our stairs. So we know that the roof is being captured above here, so I'm just going to grab that stair, that wall, and move that out to align with, say, this. That's going to come out, and when we go back to our 3D view here, you can see we've got a bit of a clearer space, picking that up. And for some reason, why is that showing up? That's interesting. We're going to add some footings to that level, so we'll pick that up as well. And here we have the stair roughly in the right place. This wall is causing a few issues. I might just take that one out at the moment and just detach it. So it's not going to be, detach it from that. Is that going to work for me? Or I need to reset the profile. That one I did in profile, so we'll just go OK, and that should clean it up. So we're just slowly working through it, seeing where there might be some issues with the design. We can pick that up in 3D here. That particular design, I actually did it as a profile, just dimensions associated with it, and I can trim that up here as needed. So here's our stairs. We'll go back to our section, and we can see it's making it up to our level 1. It's quite a steep set of stairs. If we need to flex it, we could move it to be something a bit generous. And again, this may tell us that we need a few more stair types. There's an arrow here as well to flip them. We won't do that though. This one doesn't reach it because we've changed the run of the stairs from 220, which was quite steep, to 250, and that looks like it's actually got it there. So we can start to increase the amount of stair treads that are needed. We can flex these out. We can go and edit those stairs. We'll do it in our ground floor view, and we'll just pull this out a little bit to get to the desired set of stairs to get us up to there. So let's see if that's going to do this for us. Yeah, so it looks like that's roughly picking it up because we were adding for like a little bit of a tread depth here. So again, this is very basic, but we now have kind of a nicer set of stairs getting us up to that level above, and we can see it here in our 3D view. Here's the stairs coming in. Here's some of the loft space. And again, if you need to, you can just orientate to a view So the last section we had was section 4, and we can sort of see this a bit more cleanly. Here's our set of stairs going up into the space, but we've also identified that that roof needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So I'll just align it to that wall there for now. Remove any constraints and go save. And yeah, that's the basics of the stairs.